planet-sized UFO heading towards planet Earth to expose itself to mankind in 2027. Wow. If we had to believe what Anjali spoke about on Disclosure on Twitter 2 days ago, which I'm going to share right now, we've got something big on the horizon. Take a look at this.
No question, just to get these to you before you might have to leave today. One of them is about your organization. If you could mention your organization or talk about it and the current work you're doing. And then there is a second question from an experiencer.
Are you referring to the Transcension Project? Courtney?
It was another organization. It was an organization that was sent to me. Omnicron that's not your organization. If you could.
It's not. It's not my organization. It is an organization that I am a part of, and I haven't been, heavily involved in the organization because I've had other things that I have been focused on. But my understanding from many conversations in meetings is that there is a possibility that we currently have it has been described as a fleet of ships that was identified via a remote viewing experience, and also identified by a in-person contact experience with non-human entities that showed that in 2027 there is to be an arrival of a fleet of non-human intelligence beings, one of which is one of those craft is very large and nearly planetary size. It will affect our solar system. It will affect our sun. It will affect our the electromagnetism of the earth and our tides. And these are very old incarnate beings of they're ancient beings. They all house within the inside of this ship that appears from the outside to be very planetary. It is a living craft, and they are not happy with the way that the human experiment has been going. And my position is that they are coming to observe. Another position that has been posited is that because of how large their craft is and their fleet is, that it has a drag. It drags other cosmic bodies along with it. So remnants of previous stars and planets, basically what we would consider to be asteroids, very large loose objects that become kind of trapped in their field. And there's a potential for that, these objects to cause a catastrophic damage to the planet. Okay. Now, I cannot tell you that I know that this is going to happen. Okay. I myself was not given that message, but let me tell you what I was told. I was shown and communicated this to USG personnel in 2021. I was shown a planetary size ship that the entire society lived inside of. And that because of where we were in our cyclical loop through whatever this is, that we are now within an actual cosmic location that we only come to every, I can't even put, I can't put a number on that. So, for ease sake, we'll say every 30,000 years. Okay. It's just so that we can try to conceptualize something here. But let's just say that every 30,000 years, we come through this area. And when we come through this area, then we are within a proximity of very ancient beings who may have been directly involved in and perhaps even had oversight over the creation of humanity in the beginning. So they have a very deep, long, and invested interest in how this human experiment is going, which is, according to them, a consciousness growth experiment. And that has been kind of perverted into, for some beings, like a playground where, they can inhabit the body and experience a localized expression of source from the sensory perception of a human biotech, the human body, okay, or a human avatar. So, we offer a very specific kind of experience that other life forms don't necessarily get to have. And eventually, my understanding is that all consciousness will cycle through all of it, and that we actually experience it as a cycle, but it's really something that happens simultaneously. Like I was talking about earlier, that if you receive a PDF document, it's 150 pages, and you open it to page 1, and it takes you a couple of days to get page 150, you don't say, oh, page 150 manifested today. No, page 150 was always there. It's just that you finally reached it, and now you know about it. So we have to kind of approach this entire subject that way, that it's always there. And we're just sequentially, because of our kind of sensory perception, we're experiencing it in kind of a sequential way, instead of a linear A to B to C to D, or a chronological, 1, 2, 3. So I hope that I cannot remember what the original question was. I'm so sorry. But, so I guess I would just say that personally, I'm not, with my spiritual development, I have no anxiety about the situation. I think that whatever is going to be, and that it really doesn't matter one way or the other, that what matters is that some of the things that they're telling us, I think are pretty intuitive to us. And that is, we may be faced with a set of challenges that give us opportunities to make choices about whether or not we are going to compassionately serve others and everything as we would an extension of ourselves, as the one thing that's actually experiencing it, or if we're going to take a very individualized, remaining localized point of view where we are actually saying, no, I'm going to be selfish about this and materialistic, because self-serving, not selfish. Let me rephrase that. I'm very sorry. Self-serving rather than...
Now, we've all heard about the planet Nibiru conspiracies, where there's a planet outside the solar system, which every so many thousand years apparently passes and it'll wipe out the planet. Again, it's Planet X, Nibiru, whatever you want to call it. I don't really buy into that. Anything that size you would see already, I'd suggest. So I'm not really buying this, what Anjali's saying. However, if it's a ship and not a planet, then there's a chance that they could cloak the ship so we wouldn't see it. So there is that possibility that they would have a cloaking device. But it's interesting. And there's something else as well, which I'll do in another video in probably the next 20 minutes, of being told not to plan anything after March 2026. So stay tuned for that little video.